Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're taking a look at some of the newest weapons we just added to the KarateMart.com website. But before we begin, if you could just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So last week, we tested out some of the most unusual weapons that we recently added to the KarateMart.com website. And then I had you guys go to the community tab and vote for which ones you liked best. And you guys went to the community tab and voted for the Modern Warrior Nagamaki. Excellent choice, guys. I absolutely love this thing. I love the fact that it's made from a 1065 high carbon steel that's been heat treated to react like a spring steel. So this is an awesome, awesome weapon. And you know what was funny too, is on the community tab, you guys universally said that you did not like this knuckle axe. So this week I did something a little bit different. I had Amanda go back into the warehouse and search for some of our newest items that would be perfect for gifts. So at the end of this video, make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you liked best. And as always, there are links in the description of the video so you can find out more information on each of these products. So without further ado, Amanda, what is our very first weapon?
There you go.
Awesome, thank you. All right, let's see what this guy is. Oh, cool. This thing is awesome. All right, so our very first weapon is the Stealth Survival Blade. Awesome, awesome. Oh, wow. Look at this. That is a really nice looking weapon. So first off, this sheath is a very heavy duty nylon sheath. We can see that there's webbing in back, which some of you might know this, but that's actually called MOLLE compatible, which means that you can kind of add different accessories to it. It's used in the military, it's used for tactical purposes. So I think that's kind of a cool aspect about this sheath. But you guys don't care about that. You guys want to see the blade itself. So let's just take a look at this. What the heck is this? Okay, that is very interesting. Check that out on Instagram. Clearly a survival tool. So I see the shape of a kukri here, kind of recurve type blade. And then we've got this chisel point blade on there, which I really like chisel point blades. This is not going to be a stabbing weapon. Just saying that straight out. This is going to be more of a utility type weapon. So for survival purposes, very, very awesome. The blade itself looks like it's made from a 1/4 inch thick piece of 420 stainless steel. So the nice thing about 420 stainless steel is that we are using this for a survival weapon. So it's going to be corrosion resistant, which is nice. 420 stainless steel also is very easy to sharpen, but it's got terrible edge retention. So if we're chopping away at this for a while, you're gonna lose your edge. And as you can see, we've got a plain edge here, and then we've got a serrated edge here. I'm not worried about the plain edge. Plain edges are really easy to sharpen. The serrated edge is going to be a little more difficult to sharpen. So that's something to keep in mind with this. This is a very interesting sawback. It's this type where we've got the different blades going in different directions. But if you guys know the specific name for that type of sawback, I'd be very curious. I honestly don't know off the top of my head, so if you know, definitely leave it in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. We have so many super knowledgeable people that write to me every week on YouTube, and I just love you guys. I think you're so awesome. Some people are so supportive too. I mean, it means so much to me. Also, we can see that it's got this electroplated finish to it. It gives it kind of that grayish look, and that also helps with corrosion resistance. And then we've got a bottle opener down here, which everybody needs a bottle opener. So if you drink a lot of soda, it's gonna be perfect. And then the handle. Okay, it's clearly full tang, 1/4 inch thick steel right there. But the handle, I don't know what that's made of. That's not a G10. I'm gonna guess that that is a nylon fiber or a thermoplastic of some sort, but it feels so comfortable. I mean, this is one of the most comfortable ergonomic handles I think I've ever held, which is super important when it comes to survival tools, especially something that you're chopping with, because you do not want blisters when you're out there in the woods chopping away at stuff. So I think that is awesome. Let's test it out a little bit. Let's see how good this thing is. I mean, it's such thick steel, and it's heavy too. This actually weighs approximately 1 pound, 10.6 ounces. So I'm gonna throw on my Clark Kent style glasses today. So we'll see how those go. All right, so first off, I'm just gonna smack this Wing Chun dummy. I'm gonna do it right about here. I mean, look how far into the Wing Chun dummy that went. And this is very dense wood, so that's pretty nice. I like that. Yank that out. Let's try the pellet really quick. All right, can you guys see this? I mean, that has some really good force and power that I can get out of that because it's so heavy. So that actually felt really good. Kind of broke that apart pretty easily. Let's try the sawback too, because that is the meanest looking sawback. So that might not actually be the best use for that specific type of sawback. But if anyone can tell me exactly what this type of sawback is best for, definitely let me know. But I'm actually digging this thing. I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. And let's move on to our next weapon.
You're gonna love this one, Kyle.
All right, Amanda, what do you got next for me? That is scary that you just said that. Okay, and our next weapon is, of course, a mini Stinger stun gun. Thank you, Amanda. I really do appreciate that. So I guess the first thing that's distinct about this is we have this really nice nylon sheath on this thing. So I like the fact that we've got this little pocket clip on there. That's nice. And then we've got this little ring for adding to a keychain. So it actually looks really classy. I think that's pretty cool. And then, yeah, magnetic clasp. And then check out the stun gun itself. This thing is tiny and it's so light too. It actually only weighs about 2.4 ounces. And it looks like it's only 3¼ inches wide by 1½ inches tall. So, I mean, that thing is small. My only concern with this size of stun gun is it going to be powerful enough to actually be an effective weapon? So that's why we test these things out. You can never just listen to a manufacturer and just take their word for it. You actually have to test out a stun gun to see if it is an effective weapon, which is why we always do it on our channel and why I hate every time I get a stun gun. But you know what I like about this specific stun gun, other than how small it is how simple it is. It's only got a few buttons on it. Ooh, I like this too. It's actually got this little disable pin on here. So I like this. We're seeing this more and more lately where you have this little wrist strap, you got it in your hand. If someone tries to grab this from you, out comes the disable pin, and this thing will not work at all once the disable pin's gone. So that is a nice feature of this stun gun. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in. We can also see that it's got a micro USB charger on there, so we can just charge it up when we want to use it. So that's nice. But let's just check out these buttons here. So the first button looks like we put it up once, and we've got this really nice LED light. And then all we do is we push it up once more, and then all of a sudden the stun gun is initialized. And we can tell because that little red light went on. The manufacturer says that this is 105 million volts. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I don't take that number seriously at all. Manufacturers just throw a random number on their stun guns and stun batons to make them appear that they're stronger than other stun guns and stun batons. So we can't take that number seriously. In fact, it really doesn't even make a lot of sense because when you're thinking about the power of a stun gun, volts isn't going to be a good enough unit of measurement. We actually got to consider resistance and amps in order to actually know how effective this is going to be. So really the best way to know how effective this is going to be is by the sound, how loud that crackle is, and then also by actually testing it out, which is my least favorite part, but it's so important. That means we actually have to test this out. So I'm going to have Amanda come over here, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently today. Every time we do this, Amanda, I always pull my hand so fast because it hurts. It really hurts. So Amanda's actually going to hold my wrist so I can't move, and she's going to stun me for a second or two, and we'll see how bad this is. Ah, jeez! Okay. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. So I do love the fact that that would be an effective weapon. That was only for a split second she held that on me because I pulled away pretty fast. But when you actually use one of these, if you're going to use it in an actual self-defense situation, you've got to put it on your attacker for more than a second. You got to put them on for like a few seconds, 5 seconds. But the thing with stun guns that I always like to tell people is that it's very important that you know other self-defense techniques, because stun guns aren't always going to be an effective weapon. If someone's on crystal meth or on drugs, a lot of the time a stun gun is not even going to be effective against them. So it's very important that you learn some additional self-defense techniques in addition to having a stun gun. But that's about all I have to say about that. So let's go ahead and put that away and move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what do you got next for me?
There you go.
If it's a second stun gun.
Just wait.
She's done that to me a couple of times where there's been multiple stun guns in one video. Luckily that was a smaller one. Okay, and our next weapon is the rugged Woodsman Skinner knife. Oh cool, I like Skinner knives, so that's awesome. So first off, we can see that it's got this really nice genuine leather sheath. And then we also have a belt loop on there, so we definitely could hang it from the side of our body, so that's nice. But you guys want to see the blade itself, so let's look at this. Oh yeah, I like these. They're great for skinning. Like, you stick your finger through there, and then you have a little more control when you're skinning, but they're also really fun for tricks and stuff. So I love these knives for so many little aspects of them. They're just a cool little knife. So we can see that the handle is made from a black pack of wood. Pack of wood is interesting because it's not a normal wood. It's wood that's been impregnated by resin, so it's got characteristics to it that make it better than real wood. It actually looks nice like wood, but it also doesn't warp. It's going to be water resistant. It's going to be way more durable than wood. So in that respect, why not have a pack of wood handle? Now the blade itself looks like it is a 440 stainless steel. We can also see that we've got a lanyard hole in here with a little cord for a wrist strap, so that's nice. We can also see that it is full tang, goes all the way through the handle. We can see that there's jimping on top, and then we've got this thumb rise here, which the thumb rise is actually really important for when we're skinning. That gives us good control if we're skinning an animal. The jimping is going to be more important if we're actually using this for tactical purposes. So I like both of those things. I actually think the placement of both of those is perfect. But I'm going to go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what do you have next for me?
All right, here we go.
Okay. All right, let's see what this guy is. Bigger box. Okay, and our next weapon is the Wilderness Survival Axe. Oh wow, that is cool. That's heavy too. This actually weighs about 2 pounds, 2.5 ounces, so that is fairly heavy. First off, we can see that it's got this nylon sheath to it. It's got 2 nylon sheaths to it, so that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I can see why they used 2. They had to cover up both of those blades. Let's get this guy off. Oh wow, look at that. This is actually going to be a really good blade for chopping. We can also see we've got on the butt of the axe, we've got a hoe back here. But that's going to be excellent for digging little trenches, digging little holes. I can't tell you exactly what type of steel this is, but this looks like it is a stainless steel, and then it's got a black finish to it, so that's definitely going to help with corrosion as well. But let's actually take this thing apart and see what it's all about. Okay, so I'm taking off right now, I'm taking off the handle. Okay, so we've got the axe head here, I'm just going to put that away. We've got the handle here. Okay, so we've got a knife blade in there. Looks like a little mini drop point knife. We've also got a little bottle opener there, so that could come in handy for those of you who are really into drinking soda. And we also have a sawback back there, and that's that same type of sawback we saw earlier. But honestly, on this size of the knife, that'd probably work better for fish scaling. So I can see this as being more of a fish scaling knife, honestly, on this guy. But let's go ahead and take the rest of this apart. Okay, so we've got a fire starter here. Oh wow, and we got a survival whistle, an emergency whistle. So let's test this thing out. For those of you who have headphones on, definitely take them off because this could be loud. I don't know how loud this is going to be. I'm just going to try whistling with it. That was, yeah, oh yeah, that's loud. Yeah, so sorry for you guys, that's probably loud for you. When I was probably about 14, I got lost in the woods on the Mississippi River between Wisconsin and Iowa. And my whistle was my most valuable tool, my whistle and my compass. So definitely Remember to bring a whistle with you, always a good tool to have. But let's see what else we've got here. Okay, so I can unscrew this. Okay, and we've got a glass breaker down there, so that's kind of nice. I do like the glass breaker. And then, oh wow, okay, and then on the end of this, we've got a compass inside. And then we've got a little wrist strap here, so that's good. And then also, one thing I didn't mention is this handle is made out of an aluminum alloy. But that's about all I have to say about that. So make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you like best this week. But if you have any questions about this weapon or any of the other weapons I showed off in this video, definitely leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. And check out KarateMart.com because we've got all sorts of awesome weapons on there right now. But until next week, we'll see you Weapons Wednesday.